example, the Ministry of Energy recently launched a 175-megawatt solar capital facility based in DR in the Northern Cape. This facility aims to help with the energy problems that are facing the country. So this evening we're discussing solar power and the role that it will play in alleviating our energy problems. And joining me now from our studios in Cape Town is Andre Coetsee, who's Chief Financial Officer at Solar Capital. Andre, thanks so much for your time this evening. How much as a country have we actually invested in renewable energy, including solar?
Good evening. We as Solar Capital have invested approximately 5 billion rand into this project in DR in two phases. The first phase was 85 megawatts and the second phase 90 megawatt. So in total 175 megawatts that will be giving electricity to some 75,000 households.
And how does that fit into the broader renewable energy strategy in South Africa? How much are we actually spending and how does this compare?
In terms of the IRP program, the idea was that about 18,000 megawatts should be coming from renewable energy by 2030. And at the moment, approximately 2,300 megawatts are being produced by renewable, either installed capacity or under construction.
So this amount of power that's coming through now with the project in DR, give us a sense of how big it is. So what can it power? How many homes, how many streets and so on?
Okay. It will provide electricity for about 75,000 homes, as I've said. And to give you some other statistics, the total size of the farm is approximately 500 hectares. There are almost 500,000 panels on the two farms, and as I said, about 5 billion rand was invested. The number of employees that worked on this farm at the peak construction was about 2,000. And during the maintenance phase, or the operations phase rather, there will be about 100 employees from the local community in DR working on the farms.
And what sort of impact is that going to have on the community? We know the high unemployment rate in the area, in the province itself. Is this going to make a big difference in the community?
Yes, we believe so, and also we have plans to build further solar farms, and you know, because of the very, very good irradiation in that area and in the Northern Cape in particular, there's ample opportunity to build lots of solar farms and thereby creating job opportunities in the solar space.
So the potential for solar, I think, is there, and you've articulated it, but is it something that you think that you've got the buy-in from government to actually roll it out so that we can plug even more of the gaps that we have in our energy situation at the moment?
Yes, indeed. We believe that the future for solar is very sunny, and we are planning on building a solar industry or solar park in the Northern Cape, where we hope to assemble some of the panels in South Africa and to assemble inverters and even manufacture substructures for solar farms in South Africa, and that could lead to job creation of some 3,000 direct and about 2,000 indirect jobs.
How are you funding all of this, Andre?
A lot of the funding comes from local banks. The South African banks understand the 20-year PPAs, and there is sufficient funding within South Africa, and then also foreign direct investments in terms of equity contributions.
Now, we know that this is not just a South African issue around energy and the need to put in more investment into renewable energy. Would you be looking at other countries in Southern Africa and potentially SADC?
Yes, we are indeed looking at other countries within the SADC region. In particular, we are in talks with Mozambique and also Botswana and other countries to the north of us. And not only in Africa, there are other opportunities for solar capital globally.
And are you finding that there's interest from development funding institutions? Because this, I would assume, would be something right down their alley, infrastructure development.
Yes, indeed, there is, and we are looking at developing new models for solar farms in other industries, for instance, in the mining industry. At the moment, a lot of the solar development was around the 20-year PPAs with Eskom, but there's certainly a space to also develop in the mining industry and other commercial enterprises.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for your time today. That was Andre Coetsee, who is a Chief Financial Officer with Solar Capital. After the break, tips on how to manage employees as a small business owner. This is eNCA Moneyline, your money guide. Stay with us.